When you look at that symbol, it looks like it could be going inwards. So as you're going in through each temple and or gate to higher consciousness, it could be going deeper, right? Depends on how you look at it, right? Or if you look at the other way, it could be going higher. So this could be a big tall building like this, or it could be a hole deep into the ground, right? Well, to be honest, to me, it's both. And that's what the understanding of polarities in consciousness is that you can be at two places at once. You can be down deep as below and so above, right? So it is what you need it to be at the time. So when I'm like looking at like milk for babes and meat for strong men, let's say the people that can handle the most meat are right down in the middle, right? And milk is out here, right? And like as you go in, you move off of milk into meat, right? Well, with Melatonin Intuitive Health Center, as of April 1st, we will not be a business, we are a community. And so this is the entire cosmos. Every energy, everybody, everything. This is the community. I believe in non-dual psychology, which means the entire community is a part of our community. However, as we go in, so this is, for example, if we're talking about plant medicines, out here, everybody can have the basic teachings, let's say, which is, or basic healthcare, or basic whatever, right? And I'm not saying people should have be treated differently with their health, but we are talking about mental health, so we have to understand that if you don't have the psyche for the understandings of these center areas, then you should probably stay out here. And so that's the Gnostic idea, is like maybe orthodoxy is like just stay out here and just follow those that are in here, right? The Gnostic version is try to get here, right? Well, out here, everybody can come to the Melatonin Intuitive Health Center and get non-psychoactive plant medicines. That means non-consciousness expanding medicines. And to be honest, everything that we do to our body affects our psyche. So I don't really like the word non-psychoactive. Instead, let's just say any entheogens, which would be consciousness expanding, you need to go through some gates, right? And the first gate is shadow integration. There's certain plant medicines that you shall not go into, regardless how much money you pay. You could pay $10,000 to that company in Jamaica and take a mushroom trip, right? To buy yourself wisdom that you have not earned. But when you get here, your karma, you're going to be stuck there. And if you don't have the psyche to deal with that, then it can do you more harm than good. So this is why there is this pearls upon swine, or gates to certain psychological understandings. So to join these deeper things would be, I don't like VIP because everyone's a very important person, but let's say those who have the psyches or the receptors for the ability to have experiences with entheogens, which would be non-psychoactive plant medicines, will need to go through shadow integration and also become a deeper part of the family. So the non-dual psychology is everyone, and the community is kind of like in here, and then the family gets deeper. And so I will never be guiding anybody in an entheogenic experience until they, first of all, have done the shadow integration and gotten into here and become closer with the family. Because entheogens are not to be sold. They are to be they are to be discovered as the person needs them. And when you're charging for things and putting people onto a schedule to get them into their ayahuasca ceremony and stuff like that, you are asking for bad mojo, okay? The experience should come when the person is perfectly ready. And if the person would rather have a guide or a guardian for their experience, then the guardian and guide needs to be ready too. That means it has nothing to do with dates. It's to do with the feeling in the hearts of the individuals involved. So that's why there needs to be gatekeepers, right, of knowledge. Because if psychedelics are also a brainwashing agent, they're not just an entheogen. You're not just going to find the God inside. To be honest, the whole point is you might find the God inside once during that experience. And then it releases a power in you, right? That is kind of like magic. And if you don't have the karma to wield that sword, then you're going to do more damage to the world with that sword than protect anybody with it. So don't come into Melatonic Intuitive Health Center and ask to buy psychedelics until we've become closer, right? And that even includes THC products. I want to at least sit down one-on-one and talk to the person before I put it into their hands, because THC can be one of the most powerful entheogens of all. And if you wonder why Rasta seems to have a higher connection to intuitive intelligence, then you should understand that we have an endocannabinoid system, and when it is used properly, alchemy happens, right? So if you're going to start with entheogens, I suggest people start with cannabis, and we can help you understand your own psyche so that you can heal yourself with these plants. We are not gurus. We are not your saviors. You are your own savior, and then if you don't have that message inside you, then you can become dependent on these ayahuasca ceremonies every month just to keep you connected to the Lord. And then that's exactly what these pathological pseudo spiritual people are doing with these ceremonies, right? And be very careful with anybody that are doing these ceremonies and putting any kind of divisive ideologies out there, like, dividing people with sex or race or anything, any ideologies. That is what brainwashing is. If that stuff is going on around ceremonies, before or after ceremonies, then they are that practitioner is passing on their trauma to an open book. It's like a 5-year-old child. So it's so pathological at the core that it makes me angry. And anger is the maternal sadness, okay? So do I want people to be their own alchemists? Yes, I do. Do I expect that most people have the ability to understand the consciousness of internal alchemy? No, I don't. Much love.